All right, we are at the park. It is absolutely incredible, even just to be right outside this massive park, just pulling in to the park. You can see all the rides and stuff like that. It looks phenomenal. Man, the park's not even open for another 2 hours. We already got people lined up. So now's a good time to mention that I did not currently have a ticket for the park. They were sold out online, so I had to go to the box office thing, and I was able to secure a ticket, which I was kind of worried, like, what if they just were not selling any more tickets? I would have went back to my hotel room and cried. But here is the legendary Kronos entrance for Epic Universe. And we're officially in. It cost me over 200 doubloons to be at this park today, which is more than I've spent at any amusement park ever in my life, but I think it's gonna be totally worth it. Early entry today is Dark Universe and Super Nintendo Land, but I am not staying at one of the property hotels, so I have to wait another hour. It's about to be 9. The park doesn't open till August until about 10, so I don't know, just probably gonna walk around the park a little bit. I'm also already getting absolutely murked by the heat. It's not, like I said, it's not even 9 yet, but it is like so hot. I'm already sweating through my whole entire shirt. So we're in for a hot one today because I heard this park has absolutely no shade. Just walking around now, I'm trying to get my map knowledge up, you know, because navigationally, I'm horrific in amusement parks. Trying to get myself anywhere. I'm pretty bad with directions, stuff like that. So, got to train myself here in the early stages of the day. Bro really just called it map knowledge. But anyways, I really did actually have to walk around and make sure I knew where everything was in the park so that I wasn't wasting time when the park actually did open for me. I realized that the Ministry of Magic portal was already open, so I went ahead and went underneath the portal and into my first Epic Universe land. I don't know who thought of the portal idea for entrances to each of these lands, but they need a raise. This wizarding world is set in the 1920s in Paris, France, so you have that old French vibe. And we got a Quidditch building. Let's go. That's very Harry Potter-like. And 90-minute wait already for Ministry of Magic. That's actually crazy work. The park hasn't opened yet. Just left the wizarding world. I'm still thinking about 90 minutes? Are you kidding me? The ride's not even open for another hour? Anyways, let's see if we can walk into the Isle of Berk portal. That portal's not open yet, but low-key, that's the move early in the morning if you really like the Isle of Berk, because there's hardly any people waiting. Hydrate up. I'm in Super Nintendo Land. I got to go in about 10 minutes early because I used that side entrance. And you know, everyone's waiting for that main portal entrance up to the second floor, but if you go through that side entrance, they literally let me in early. This place is absolutely massive. This is insane. I haven't been to the one in California, just so seeing this in person for the first time, it's just absolutely massive. So I was gonna do Donkey Kong first, but unfortunately it's delayed right now, so I came up the stairs, and now we're gonna do Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. It says it's got a 75-minute wait though. Ugh. If only this kid knew what he was getting himself into by waiting in this line. And if that tells you anything, yes, I did wait much longer than 75 minutes for this attraction. But on the bright side, I guess a bright side, at least I got to do it in one of the most impressive and immersive queues out of any attraction in the whole world. I was straight up not having a good time at this point. That clip was from about 2 hours in, and we still had a decent amount of the line to go. While we were waiting for this ride, the people around me were crashing out. I mean, I was crashing out too, to be fair, but they were crashing out to a whole nother level. And eventually, we got our Mario caps on, let's go, and we were able to ride the attraction. So the advertised wait time for Mario Kart was 75 minutes when I got in the line. I ended up waiting about 2.5 hours, and the wait time right now is over 4 hours for Mario Kart. Are you kidding me? It's a Monday in July. I mean, I guess people are getting their last minute vacations and coming to Epic, but Nintendo Land right now is absolutely packed. There's so many people. It's just a huge cluster. I gotta get out of this land. I wanted to do Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's at like over a 2-hour wait too, so I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle. As for the ride, Mario Kart itself, I was a little bit disappointed. I think the concept of the ride is really cool, but the AR, at least on my headset, was not really working too well. Also, the hat didn't really fit me too well either. I do have a really small head though, really small head, so maybe I'm just an outlier there. But I wish the AR was like a little bit better. That being said, I really like the fact that you can shoot the shells at other people. You have to use your like hat and your head to aim. And I feel like it's a little bit awkward because I would keep trying to aim with the steering wheel and I'd like turn with the steering wheel to shoot right, but then I have to like just cock my neck really far to the right. So a little bit awkward, but I do like that you can actually play Mario Kart and shoot shells at people. Now we're going into Dark Universe, gonna do Monsters Unchained. I've heard from a lot of people this is potentially the best ride in the whole entire park, so super excited to get on this thing. I also get scared super easily, so we'll see how this goes, but I'm looking forward to it. I think I've heard the effects and everything on this ride are just absolutely phenomenal.
Come close. I won't hurt you.
Don't look at that. This is just the emergency function.
Together, we will finish what my great-grandfather started. There's nothing to be afraid of. He is amazing.
Monsters Unchained. That was super impressive. Like, that is really scary, from the queue to the pre-shows to the actual ride itself. Bro, during the ride itself, I got jump scared like 3 or 4 times. They just like launch you and you're just literally right in front of this like massive animatronic monster. It was super well done. There's this lady that brought her probably 3-year-old kid into the queue line, and he was going through it just absolutely screaming, crying. I was like, what are you doing? Bringing your 3-year-old kid into a queue like that? I would be scarred for days, no, months, maybe even years. So now we are heading to what might be my most anticipated ride, Stardust Racers, which is posting a 2.5-hour wait. Like, really? But thankfully they do have a single rider line, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. Hopefully it's not too crowded in that single rider line. Stardust Racer is only running one side of the track. Say it ain't so. For those who don't know, this ride it's technically 2 coasters in one. It's like a dueling coaster, 2 different tracks, and only having one track open makes the capacity, it like cuts it in half. So That's why the wait is so atrocious. So I guess I'll be in this line for the next 2.5 hours. Wow, Universal cooked with that one. To start off, the wait time, it was only like 45 minutes instead of 2.5 hours, so already pretty cool there. Like I said, they were not dueling, so only the green side was open, but I was able to ride it twice, one time in the front, one time in the back, and this ride is unbelievable. It's so fun regardless of if you sit in the front or back, and I've also heard the middle is awesome too. And then the first half of the layout is super airtime heavy, a ton of airtime hills. You get flown up a ton if you sit in the front, but then if you sit in the back, you're gonna get more of that aggressive, intense airtime hills where you're gonna get thrown up but then pushed right back down. And then the second launch is super punchy as well, and the whole second half is super intense. Even if you're in the front row, you're gonna feel that intensity, some of those positive G-forces, and you'll feel them a lot more in the back row. If this ride is dueling and I get a dueling ride on it, I think overall, especially at night, I think this ride overall would be better than Velocicoaster. But the roller coaster part of Stardust Racers, I think is better than Velocicoaster. Man, I talk way too much. Anyways, we're gonna head to a new portal, one that we haven't been in yet. Isle of Berk. We're hopefully gonna be able to do pickups, wing gliders. Just entering this world gives you a huge rush of nostalgic energy, and then you just feel happy, you feel good, man. Who doesn't love How to Train Your Dragon? Hiccup's wing gliders, man, that's just a super fun and dare I say cute ride. I don't like calling it cute because it is pretty intense. I even grayed out a little bit in the first half before that second launch. And then actually, funny enough, we got stuck right before the second launch, and so we were just sitting there for like 5 minutes. And then they were able to launch us back up and finish the ride. But super amazing family coaster. I can see how people compare that to Hagrid's. I think Hagrid's is still a better ride, but this is still absolutely phenomenal. And the theming is top notch as well. All right, I feel like it is that time to finally go over to Ministry of Magic and just wait probably like 3 hours for it. But in hand, I got my chicken fire. No, that's not what it's called. Chicken fire, no, dragon spire, chicken fire, something like that. But yeah, we're gonna walk over to the Wizarding World right now. This was hands down the best food I've ever eaten at any amusement park, and I looked up the name, and it's called Dragonfire Chicken Spire, and you get it in the Isle of Berk. There's this little, I think it's called Spitfire Grill. You get it there. Oh my, what a forehead vein. I mean, look at that. I guess it doesn't look as bad when you zoom in. All right, scratch this. Anyways, let's move on. I'm here at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, also known as Paris, to do one thing and one thing only. To wait 2 hours for this attraction. Heck yeah, paid $200 for this. At least I get to go through this green thing right here, and it leads to a pretty cool queue. Do you guys want to see it? Well, I'm going to show it anyways. Walking into this queue as a non-Harry Potter watcher had me in awe, but also very confused. I quickly learned that people do not like this Dolores lady. They had these massive golden statues all around the queue. I mean, these things were huge. It was ridiculous. They got the classic moving posters. I feel like I've seen those in other Harry Potter queues, but this whole queue, my jaw was dropped. It was dropped all the way to the ground. So I just got off of Ministry of Magic. I waited about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm going to start off by saying this is a really, really good ride. Very solid attraction out of all the 3 Harry Potter simulators at the other parks. I think this would probably be the best one. However, it is majority screens. And, you know, I didn't get nauseous or anything at all. I think the screens are a lot better than Forbidden Journey. But it still feels very similar to Forbidden Journey, and there's not too many animatronics. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like this is a great ride, but I don't think it's excellent. I think Monsters Unchained is a much better dark ride than Ministry of Magic. Oh my gosh, and I didn't even talk about the queue. The queue for Ministry of Magic is the best queue that I've ever seen, and I have a feeling that that's the best queue out of any ride in the whole entire world. All right, back in Nintendo Land. Hopefully it's not as crowded as it was this morning. I'm trying to go back and do Minecart Madness. I saw that it just went down, and it was like a 75-minute wait, so I'm going to try to catch it right when it opens back up. Hopefully don't have to wait too long. All right, well, it just opened back up. It already has an 80-minute wait. Bro, do people leave Nintendo Land? Like, every time I check the wait times for Mario Kart and Minecart Madness, it's always over 80 minutes, bro, for both. Insanity. Just got off a werewolf, and I actually think that's a lot better than people say that it is. A lot of people have been kind of hating on this ride. It is pretty short, but the time that the ride does run, it is pretty solid. It's a nice spinning coaster, has a couple of launches too, so I think it's solid. It is a little bit short, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. And the audio track on that ride throughout the whole thing is really, really good. Just sounds like a werewolf just chasing you throughout the whole ride. Got about 20 minutes left till the park closes, so you know what that means. I'm going back to Nintendo Land. I would never do that to myself. I'm not going back there tonight. We are going to Stardust Racers instead to get a solid night ride. Hopefully I can get front row. Should be pretty good. The portals at night look so awesome. Like I could just be entertained by just walking circles around Celestial Park. Just got off Stardust Racers front row night ride, and I can totally see how people would call that their number one roller coaster, and it might even be my number one roller coaster now. Just after you go over those big airtime hills and you're just looking out, seeing Helios and everything lit up in this beautiful park, it's just surreal. And also the park closed at 9 tonight, but they kept letting people in the queue until about 10, which is pretty cool. But I kind of feel bad for the associates. They have to like stay probably till midnight, 1 a.m. to get all the riders through. They probably still have a 30-minute line right now, and it's already almost 11 o'clock. But yeah, what a ride. All I really have to say is wow. All right, just got back to the hotel, so I'm going to do a little bit of a recap. First off, I'm incredibly blessed and thankful to have been able to attend this park, especially on its opening year. I think that's really cool. I've never visited a park on its opening year ever, so that was really, really cool. The first thing I'll say about this park is that it will blow you away visually with the rides, the theming, even the staff is fantastic. Overall, it is just a great atmosphere, fantastic park. Now, to compare this to other Universal parks, I think this is Epic Universe is way better than Studios. Bro, I mean, it's Studios, man. Like, any park's better than that. But comparing it to Islands, I think it's very close. I think Islands still has the edge, but once more capital is being built in Epic Universe, they get some more rides and make some of the lands look a little bit more complete. I think Epic will be the best Universal park in the future. And then the last thing I'll say is that, you know, you're going to this park to not only enjoy the rides, the shows, whatever, but also just enjoy the atmosphere. Because if you go to the park and you're like, I just want to ride the rides and do nothing else and don't take time to appreciate the park, you're not going to get your money's worth, because I literally only got to ride 8 rides today. 8 total rides. And I was probably in that park for, gosh, it had to be like over 12, maybe even 13 hours by the time I got done with Stardust Racer. So make sure you just take in the nice aesthetic of the park along with the rides. All right, that's all I got. I'll stop talking for now. Make sure you go check out Epic Universe.